Just another sunny day in Southern California. It's where the people came to play. Don't let them transform you. Oh, come and see what you've been missing on a little slice of heaven. It's the only place we're living. It's that West Coast point of view. Easy when it's always summertime fun. You and I, carefree attitude. Who cares what the people think? It's been turning kinda gray in Southern California, but I'm allergic to.
Welcome to your 1 hour long restorative practice. Grab your props, an eye shade and a little hand towel, 2 yoga blocks, some water or tea or whatever, a blanket, a bolster, and let's not delay. Let's do our warm up, let's do our calm down phase, and let's come into pentacle pose. Already, come into pentacle, fully reclined for your pentacle pose. You're lying down, bring your arms high overhead, spread your legs wide, come into a capital letter X shape, and just breathe. Take a big breath in, and a big sighing breath out. Hello, I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga, and this is your yoga practice from home. I love restorative days, this 1 hour long practice. So let's just start right away and not lose any minute here. We practice every single day. Close your eyes and just relax. We practice every single day, and every practice is different. Come check us out. We practice for an hour live. It is live every day from start to finish. No cuts, no takes. I think you'll have fun with it. Not only are our practices different every day, but your body is different too. As the bottom of our screen says, do what is right for your body. If something hurts, don't do it. Maybe in this pentacle pose, it doesn't feel so good in your shoulders, so kind of like a snow angel. Bring your arms down a little bit or bring your shoulders down a little bit. Just position yourself so you're comfortable. Take a deep breath in through your nose and sigh it out through your mouth. Let it go. Let all the tension go. We're going to measure the stress in your body. How are we going to do that? We're going to take a stress number. So on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10, what are you feeling right now? How stressed out are you? Remember that number because we're going to come back to it at the end. But here's a little word for today. We've been using all S words this week. The word is saturate. So saturate means to cause a substance to unite with the greatest possible amount with another substance. To think of soaking something in. Think of your mind, your body, and your spirit. Just soaking it in, saturating each other, coming together. So you're here, obviously. You're investing the time to be on your mat. So just soak it all in. Soak it all in. All right, in this pentacle pose, let's tense up. Doesn't sound like a very restorative thing to do, does it? Let's squeeze our fingers towards our palms and feel the tension in your forearms all the way up through your shoulders. And then squeeze your toes towards your sole of the foot. Feel the tension there. Feel it all the way up into your core, up into your belly. You've got a tension in the shoulders, tension in the neck, and even scrunch your face up. Scrunch your face up. Really tighten your eyes. Just feel the tension. That's tension. Even squeeze your glutes. That's a big one. Squeeze the glutes really tight. Be really, really tense. That's tension. And let it go. Soften slowly. Let it go. Realize where you're holding tension. Let it go. I think that's a really good exercise. Let's do it again. Close your eyes, squeeze, and be really tight everywhere you got. Hello, Esther, Tammy, Liz, Stan, Tyrone, Marietta, Kelly, Tina, Rena. Glad you guys are here. Squeeze, feel the tension. Some of us live like that all the time, especially in our shoulders and in our hips. We hold it so tight, like you're doing now. Tight squeeze. Oh, let it go. Big breath in. Big sighing breath out. I like to think of like a deflating balloon when I sigh it out. Letting the shoulders come down. Letting the body fully relax and rest into your mat. All right, that little exercise of squeezing and tensing the hands and the feet together, I hope that just helps you recognize maybe where you're holding tension and what your norm perhaps is, where you're holding tension just habitually. And by realizing where you're holding that tension, maybe as you live your life off of your mat, those other 23 hours of the day, you can realize where the tension is and just kind of send your breath there to help reduce and release that tension that you've kind of allowed to build up in your body. Breathe in. Sigh it out. Let it go. Arms are heavy. Legs are heavy. Deep breath in. Sighing audibly out the mouth lets the tension go too. And once you've kind of settled in and are just enjoying this moment, maybe then you close your lips and slow and steady wins the race. Breathe in and out of your nose. And let the sound of your breath calm you as you take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. In a restorative practice, we hold the poses for a longer period of time to allow the body to just let go of that tight squeezed tension. And try to get your mind out of the way too. Try not to think thoughts. I know that's so hard to do. So many thoughts enter your mind. Just acknowledge them and let them go. For now, you're not here that long. That's why we focus on our breath. Come back to your breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Maybe work your arms down a little bit so you can comfortably turn your head in one direction. We'll turn it in the other direction too. But turn your head. Maybe you're resting on your ear. Maybe your arms are down a little bit more by your side so you can comfortably turn your head. Position your body so you're comfortable here. Slowly, as we continue to warm up, let your head slowly, slowly move it back to a natural position. So your nose is up toward the sky, but just enjoy how it feels on the back of your skull. Appreciate these movements and feel what you feel. Big breath in and big breath out, and turn your head in the other direction. Nice and slow, no rush, no hurry. Your shoulders are soft. Visit them. See how they feel. Soften them a little more toward the earth. If you can turn your head just a teeny bit more. And then super slowly, enjoy the skull massage at the back of your head as you slowly bring your chin back up toward the sky. Your arms, let's lift them up, snow angel them up, all the way up, up, up to overhead if that feels all right. Put a bend in your elbows if that feels better. And maybe work toward bringing the palms to touch overhead. Bring your legs together at the midline of your body. Now you're in a stick pose. Maybe it feels good to lengthen your fingers to the top of the mat and point your toes to the bottom of the mat. Maybe that feels good. Keep both shoulders down and keep both hips down. Soften in your jaws. Breathe. And a little banana asana pose here. Let's work our feet toward the bottom right corner of your mat. Keep your eyes closed and just enjoy. Walk your feet a little more to the bottom right corner of your mat. Start to feel the goodness up your left side. And then maybe work your hands a little more to the right corner of your mat, the top right corner. Keeping your left shoulder down, keeping both hips down. It doesn't matter how far you go. It just matters what you feel. And maybe you're feeling a nice big stretch up that whole left side of your body, from your fingers to your toes. Maybe take your right hand and grab your left wrist and give it some encouragement. Give it a little tug if that feels good. And if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. You know what feels good for you. Think about this for a second. The success of your yoga isn't measured in how the poses look or how far you take a pose or finding that perfect pose. I've got to take it deeper. The success of your yoga is measured in how it positively affects your life off of your mat, those other 23 hours of your day. And you'll see, it really, really does. Nice little pull. Maybe now you're comfortable in that pull. Soften your glutes too. And then slowly release that wrist from your right hand. Palms back together to touch. Slowly being aware of every little movement. Bring your hands back up overhead, working all your limbs back to the midline of your body. Lengthen up in your stick pose. Really reach your fingers high to the top of the room. Breathe in, breathe out. It's the other side's turn. Bring your feet, your heels, toward the bottom left corner of your mat. Work your hands, your arms to the top left corner of your mat. And the feeling you're going for here is a nice stretch on your right side. The right shoulder is down. Maybe you've got a bend in your elbows. That's fine. Your right hip is down also. You're not popping up, rolling onto the left hip. Soften your jaws. Remove the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Think of your body in the shape, like a little crescent moon or a banana. It doesn't matter how deep you've taken this curve. What matters is how you feel. And you want to feel a nice stretch. I start to feel it in my triceps, through my armpit, and especially in the intercostal muscles, on down into my hips. And even my abductor muscles and my IT band on that right side. I feel it on the outside of the right thigh. Maybe you do too. Soften your jaws. And remember that pull we did on the other side? Let's do it on this side. Take your left hand, grab your right wrist, and give it a gentle, loving tug. And just encourage space in your body. Imagine the breath softening all of the muscles up the right side of your body. And even your joints, just think of them just stretching and finding space to move. Space. And that feel-good feeling of not being compressed, not being squeezed. Letting go. Take another big cycle of breath and just enjoy how far a range you can get here. How does it feel? And then slowly release the wrist from the left hand. Palms come back to touch. Slowly, slowly, slowly working back to your midline. Take it really slowly. Feel what you feel. That's so important. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Maybe you find you can reach your shoulders even higher, reaching those fingers higher to the top of your room. Maybe point your toes to the bottom of the room. Feel it in your ankles. And then let's finish. Float your arms on down by your sides. Maybe you can keep your eyes closed. I'll talk you through. Press on up. And find your bolster, and let's come into a child's pose on the bolster. All right, how do you feel already? Don't you just feel calmer? When you move the body, it affects your mind so much, positively or negatively, and we want to make it positive. All right, so bring your bolster onto your mat. Bring your knees to the bottom of the bolster. Sink your hips back towards your heels. With your bolster, bring your chest on down. Chest on down to the bolster. Adjust here. Maybe you need to spread your legs a little bit more. Maybe you want to push the bolster even lower so your widespread legs can be on it. And the block to the top of your mat. Maybe you like that. Rest here, arms wherever you like. Maybe you like them down by your sides. It's up to you. What is speaking to you in this child's pose? Here's what we want to feel. We want to lengthen our entire spine while letting our chest relax on this bolster. I kind of like this little saying I read today. It's jump off the merry coaster, the merry coaster, the roller coaster, the merry-go-round. Jump off the merry-go-round of life and allow your mind to settle. Nothing is so important that you need to think about it right here and right now. We'll come back to it in a little bit, but right now, rest. Shoulders are soft and away from your ears. Lengthen your spine from your tailbone to the crown of your head and let it go. I've set a little 3-minute timer. All you need to do here is breathe. I'll let you know when the 3 minutes is up. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. You've been in your child's pose now for 3 minutes. If you'd like to stay longer, that's the beauty of doing your practice from home, doing it at your pace, your way. If you wish to stay here longer, go right ahead. I'm going to move into a caterpillar pose, which will help lengthen the spine even more. If you want to join me, gently press on up off of your bolster. Send your legs long. Bring the bolster on top of your legs. I know for some of you this doesn't feel super good. The backs of the legs are tight. Maybe you slip a blanket under your knees. Maybe that feels great. Or maybe that bolster seems really super far away. You could have another blanket and place it on top of your bolster and then just comfortably fold forward. Not super comfortable to begin because we're tight. We're tight in our leg. What you can do here, I'm going to set a timer for 3 minutes and I'll start it now. What you can do here is use that blanket, just get your mind out of the way, put your arms wherever you like, and just let time and gravity help you lengthen in the spine. It'll come in time. Just be patient with you. Be patient with yourself. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hollow out your belly. And let your body do its thing. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Maybe you've noticed that as the time progressed, you fold more forward and it became just more natural and it felt better as you created more space in your low back and in your spine. We stayed in this pose for 3 minutes. If it feels really super great for you, go ahead and stay longer. Restorative poses, you can stay in as long as you want, but some of them it's recommended, 5, 7, 9, 10, 20 minutes. Do what feels good for you. I'm going to move into a fish pose. All right, I'm going to do the fish pose on the bolster. Sometimes we do it on the blocks. Today we're going to do it on the bolster. Or if you want to do it on the blocks, go for it. I'm going to bring the bolster vertically onto the mat. I'm going to use my blanket too. You use your blanket how you like. Eye shade to cover the eyes. Bring that up by your shoulders. I'm going to talk about my leg positioning first. So scoot your bottom up next to the bolster. I'm going to place 2 blocks by my knees. And in fish pose, you could have your legs long. You could have your knees bent with the soles of your feet on your mat. Or, like a fish tail, bring the soles of your feet together. Using those blocks underneath the knees, give them some support. Come to recline on your bolster. Cover up whatever feels good to cover up with your blanket. And recline here. As you recline here, maybe cover your eyes to block out the light, block out the world, and just focus inward. And if you don't want to open your knees and you don't like the idea of the blocks, just scoot them away and take the leg position you like. Arms, however you like them to be. Maybe tee them out. That feels pretty good in my chest at least. Maybe tee them out, maybe put a little bend in your elbows, or maybe sweep them down a little bit. Play with that like snow angel arms and see what you like. Rest there, settle in. I've set a 5-minute timer. Breathe deeply. Focus inward. Happiness, joy, peace, kindness, all of those things work from the inside out. Invest this time, invest these moments in finding those things inside of you. Breathe. Soften. Chest is open, heart is open, and receptive to goodness. Deep breaths. You're allowing your body to have the space to breathe. Use it. No shallow breathing here. Big, full breaths in. And big, slow breaths out. Yesterday we talked about straw breathing. Maybe that's what you'd like to do with these exhales. Take full, big exhales in through your nose. And if you like, just purse your lips, make a teeny little hole in your mouth, and let the air go out slowly from between your lips. Breathe any way you like, but just breathe deeply. Come back to your breath, just deep breaths in and deep breaths out, no thoughts, let it go. You'll think about all that stuff later. Take a deep breath in And a deep breath out. How is this fish pose feeling for you? Take a moment. Feel what you feel. How do you like it? If you wish to stay longer, do that. I'm going to move into a pose for my hips. I'm going to move into sleeping swan. So it's your choice. Do you wish to stay here or do you wish to move on? I'm going to slowly bring my knees together at the midline of my body. I'm going to send my legs long and just kind of scoot those blocks aside as I roll off of my bolster. Remove your eye shade, obviously, and your towel. And come on up onto your knees. Bring your bolster horizontally to the top of your mat. The blanket that you were just covered up with, maybe bring it under your knees as you come into like a tabletop for just a moment. Have a block nearby on your right side. Bring your right knee up to near that bolster. Send your left leg long on the blanket. I've got the blanket here to kind of pad my knee because we're going to be here for a little bit in this sleeping swan pose. Maybe work your shin a little more parallel to the top of the mat. Slip the block under your right glute. That will keep both of your hips equal distant to the mat. And bring your forearms on down to your bolster. I've set a 3-minute timer here. Adjust and get reasonably comfortable here. Rest your head maybe on your hands. Remove the tongue from the roof of your mouth and soften in your shoulders. What you're going for here is a nice stretch in your right hip. Do you feel it in your backside? Adjust so you feel right. If it is painful, come out of it. If it's just uncomfortable, challenge yourself to breathe through the discomfort as you imagine your breath going to your hip socket and creating space there. And after a while, maybe you say, I'm going to roll that bolster away and come on down to my folded hands, elbows wide, and rest here. Either way is good. What's best is what feels good for you in your hip today. Soften your belly, soften your glutes. How far could you relax into this if your mind weren't in the way, making you hold on? Let go. Are your jaws clenched? Let them go. 3 minutes has elapsed. Maybe you want to stay longer. Take a deep breath in. Send all that breath to your hip. And it's only been 3 minutes, but I'm going to come out of this pose so we can move on to the other side. And you're your own best teacher. You know that. Tuck your left toes under, bring your right leg back, shake it out in a neutral tabletop. Maybe you stay longer because you're your own best teacher. You know what feels right for you. You don't have to do all these poses today. You do the ones that speak to you. What does your body need today? All right, right knee comes down, left knee goes up, up, up toward the bolster. Move the block to the left side. Reintroduce your bolster to the top. Work your left shin more parallel to the top of the mat. Nestle in here. Just take a moment. Nestle in. Move your hips a little bit. And then bring the block under your left glutes. Just keeps you honest. Keeps that hip from sagging. Come on down. Forearms onto your bolster. I'm going to set a timer. Rest here. Right leg is long on your mat. Hips are equidistant to your mat. Soften your shoulders. Remove the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Soften in the jaws. Get your head out of the way. Get your doubt out of the way. Get your disbelief. Get your tension out of the way. If you want, you can get that bolster out of the way too. And bring your head down to folded hands. Whatever feels good. Your spine is long. Your right leg is super long on the mat. You have great length in your spine and you've got great mobility in your hips. Breathe through it. Send your breath to your left hip. No tension in your body. No tension. No tension. Soften your glutes a little bit more. Soften that right glute. Those muscles in your backside, let them go. Your hips ready for this movement. Your hip is ready for this nice stretch. That big full exhale, it's going to your left hip. It's going to your hip to create more space. Soften your shoulders. We've got less than a minute to go. How far could you go if your mind weren't stopping you? Take your deep breath in, feel what you feel. See how the breath helps you feel your hip. Big breath in. Big slow breath out. It's the last one here in this pose. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Feel the depth of the pose with that breath. If you wish to stay longer than these 3 minutes, go for it. I'm going to slowly come on out of this pose. If you're going to stay longer in your sleeping swan, give both sides pretty much equal time. Neutral tabletop, shake out the leg a little bit. Oh, just appreciate that newfound mobility in the hip. It's a beautiful thing. All right, so here's where we're going to go into legs up the wall. And then final Shavasana. Time flies when you're having fun. Okay, so you can make your way to the wall. I'm not going to do it that today. I'm going to do it on my bolster. You could also scoot your bottom up next to a chair, bend your knees, and bring your calves onto the chair. That's a fine way of doing it also. If you make your way to the wall, scoot one hip up next to the wall, then throw your legs up the wall. Plant your heels on the wall, settle in the shoulders, cover up with the eye shade, the towel, the blanket, whatever you like. I'm going to use my bolster horizontally on my mat. I'm going to recline on it, and then I'm going to just slide the bolster down to what feels good on my bottom. Eye shade to cover the eyes, or the little towel. Blanket to cover whatever you want to cover. You know what feels good here is to sometimes cover the shoulders, but I like the belly. I'm going to send the legs up to the sky and just rest here. If you've never done it this way, it's pretty easy. You would think it's a lot of effort, but it's not. Your legs feel almost like they're weightless. So either way, on the wall or here, breathe in, breathe out. Let the outside world go. We've got maybe about 5 minutes here, but you'll decide that in a few moments. Don't worry about it. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. Are you wondering what to do with your arms? You can have them down by your sides, palms face up. You can bend your elbows and place a hand on your heart and a hand on your belly. As you focus inward, take the time for your heartbeat and appreciate each full breath in your belly as it rises and falls. Maybe you'd like to cactus your arms and feel that in your shoulders. All you do is bring your elbows up to about shoulder height. Place your forearms on your mat, palms face up, and breathe. Maybe you'd like to do ragdoll-like arms and work the elbows up by the sides of your head above your ears, and you reach your hands for opposite elbows. Maybe that feels good today. And if your legs are up the wall and your low back's kind of not liking it very much, bend your knees and press the soles of your feet into the wall. So many options. Take what feels good for you right now. less than a minute to go here, maybe. So breathe deeply, feel what you feel. See what this pose makes you feel in your body. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Let it go. Now you can stay here. Stay here longer, or we're going to go into final Shavasana. But something about your legs up the wall. It's a great pose to help you sleep better at night. So maybe tonight, try it. And you don't have to lie on the floor and put your legs up the wall. Get in bed, turn your body around, and put your legs up your headboard. And rest there. Give it a go instead of scrolling mindlessly through your phone. That's what I do. Don't do that. Try to do your legs up the wall and see if you don't get a better night's sleep tonight. All right, so I'm going to come out of my legs up the wall. Maybe you stay here. I'm going to bend my knees. I'm going to send my legs down to the earth. Get off the wall the way you came on the wall. I'm going to slowly plant my feet here. And all I'm going to do with this bolster is I'm just going to scoot it on down, and I'm going to let it go behind my knees. That's how I like to take my final Shavasana on a restorative day. Maybe you push it even farther into your feet. Or maybe you have no props at all. It's all good. So maybe cover the eyes. Maybe cover up completely with the blanket. And bring your arms down by your sides. Your final Shavasana pose. Going to set a timer for about 5 minutes. Nestle in here and get comfortable. Maybe your shoulders need a little bit of comfort. Maybe you need to wiggle them closer to your spine. How does that feel? Just take a moment to nestle in. Move your bottom and get comfortable. Arms down by your sides, legs slightly spread, heels toward the bottom of your mat. Feels really good to use that eye shade or the towel to block the light out. And the weight of an eye shade feels really good on the eye sockets. If you haven't tried one, try it. You'll like it. Deep breaths. Any way you like. And again, try to keep those thoughts away. You'll come back to them in just a few minutes. Breathe deeply and let the body be heavy. I'll let you know when this time is up. breath, only your breath, no thoughts. Deep breath in. And deep, slow breath out, however you like it. Straw breath, Ujjayi pranayama, or sighing it out through your mouth. Soften the area between your eyebrows. No tension, just breath. Take a deep breath in, your deepest one of the practice. Take a deep, slow breath out, your deepest and slowest of today's practice. You are in control, and your breath proves that. If you'd like to stay here longer, go for it. Maybe hit the pause button on your remote and allow your body to just be carried away by the wonder and beauty of this pose. If it is time for you to move on with your day, remember how we turned our head in the beginning? Maybe just turn your head left to right, right to left. A little skull massage for the back of your head. Maybe with each turn to the right and each turn to the left, you take it a little deeper. Do what feels good. Come back to the midline of your body. Remember in the beginning when we squeezed our hands tight into fists and squeezed our feet? Maybe do that again. Nice tight squeeze. And then release. Release it for the entire day. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Circle your wrists and your ankles. Inhale, reach high overhead. You know, you're a new creature. You're a new being. Why not? You're not stuck. Reach through your fingertips. Point through your toes. You can change. All you got to do is change. Do it. Take the actions necessary to live the life you want to live. Bend your knees. Bend your elbows. Scoot any props away or use them however you like. Roll onto one side or the other. Use your low arms bicep as a pillow for your head. Savor this breath. Big breath in. Big breath out. Float on up because you're floating now. Float on up to a comfortable seated position. Maybe crisscross your legs or sit however you like. Hands to prayer center for a moment of gratitude. Lengthen up through your spine because there's lots of space there. Big inhale and a big exhale. Gently blink your eyes open. Ta-da! You did it! Congratulations. I think the 1 hour just flies by in our restorative practice. I hope it did for you too. All right, early on we took a stress number. What was it? And now what is it? I just hope you feel better, and that's so valuable. All right, so here's the advice for today. Surround your people, surround yourself with the people who are good for your spirit, like our group. And if you surround yourself with people who are good for your spirit, you'll be healthier for it. All right, so Piper, come here. Have a great day, everybody. Remember those fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. See you on your mats tomorrow. Love you guys. Bye. Hi. How are you? You're not very restored, are you? Bye. Thanks for being here. Okay, think about this. Clarity is that moment when we can see best without even opening our eyes. All right, so what does that mean? Just focusing inward. And you kind of know when you focus inward. You know when you're doing the right thing. And your yoga is certainly the right thing. It's working. You're being more flexible, you're being more mobile, and you're getting stronger. Tell your friends how good the yoga is for you. So let them have that moment of clarity. Our yoga is free for anybody and everybody. They can check us out on Facebook and YouTube. You know that. Show them how to do it. And if you'd like to support our broadcast, check out our website. It's www, you even have to say that anymore, www.316yoga.com. Thanks for being here. See you on your mats tomorrow and find your inner clarity.